Welcome into this week's edition of the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Again, I'm your host. My name's Adam Haley. On tonight's show, first off, it's the first week of December, and we're still talking fall athletics. That's great for Lincoln Memorial University. And we're going to talk about the women's volleyball team, that fall sport that is still in action here into the month of December. We're going to actually talk to one of Jenny's assistants, the graduate assistant, about the tournament upcoming down at Aiken, South Carolina. Also going to talk some men's and women's basketball. Women's basketball, we don't have Crystal Evans on the show tonight, but they are nationally ranked for the first time in the NCAA era for Lincoln Memorial. They come into this weekend ranked 20th in the nation, coming off a victory on Wednesday night. We'll talk about that in just a second. Men's basketball, we're going to talk about, we've got Josh Schertz going up a little bit later on tonight's show. We're going to talk about how the season has started so far for his team and how they progress throughout the South Atlantic Conference schedule coming up. Before we go any further, let's tell you about some of those results from this past week. Women's basketball, as we said, 20th ranked team in the nation. They're 7-0 for the first time since the early 90s. They defeated Leeds McRae last Saturday 63-50, and then defeated Lenore Ryan in conference action this past Wednesday 73-51. For men's basketball, they were victorious last Saturday as well. They were on the road at UVA Wise. They won that one 105-62. And then again this past Wednesday, their second conference matchup, first time they'd actually been inside of the Textron Arena this season. They defeated Lenore Ryan 91-50 in what was essentially a rematch from the Southeast Regional Final, but Lenore Ryan, a different team and a different coach this 2016-17 season. Again, we got a jam-packed show. We're going to talk some women's volleyball when we return right here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Unmatched and unbeatable. Your experience at Danny England Motors comes with the absolute best in offering unmatched quality while delivering an uncommon, hands-on process to take your automotive purchase to the next level in customer service and customer expectations. While offering a relaxed, positive environment and a laid-back approach, our drive to surpass the highest of standards in this industry comes nothing short of. Danny England Motors. Come see us today. Automotive excellence starts here.
Established in 1982, Dixie Roofing Incorporated of La Follette has been the industry's leader in commercial roofing throughout Knoxville, Tennessee, and surrounding counties for more than 30 years. From medical facilities to office buildings and educational institutions, Dixie Roofing has the experience, expertise, equipment, and know-how to handle roofing needs of any commercial structure, big or small. Dixie Roofing is also on the web at www.dixieroofing.com. Dixie Roofing Incorporated. Since 1959, Giles Industries has built more than 86,000 quality homes through craftsmanship of team members from the tri-state area. Our clients are extremely important to us, and we're looking for team-oriented family members which allow us to continue that level of excellence known to come with the Giles brand. Our team members receive above-average pay, great health, dental, and vision coverage, a 401k retirement package, and up to 2 weeks paid vacation following the first year of employment. Contact us about joining our Giles Industries family. Giles Industries, quality homes built by family for family.
Juggling my family schedule is a full-time job. Between school, dance practice, work, there's little time left to worry about much else. That's why I use real-time banking from Home Federal Bank. With real-time banking, I know that when I make a deposit, the money goes straight to my account. No delays, no waiting, no wondering. And I get to focus on what's important.
Real-time deposits, real-time access, real-time banking. From Home Federal Bank, always within reach.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Now joined alongside by graduate assistant for women's volleyball coach Joshua Corder. And first off, welcome to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. It's your first time being on the show so far.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
It's been a fun season. I mean, now here we are in the month of December. I know talking to Coach Michael throughout the season, she said one of the goals is let's play in December. Let's get to December. Well, here it is now, December. You all are going to be on the road at USC Aiken for the Southeast Regional Tournament. I know that has to be an exciting feeling.
It's so exciting. You know, there's the Thanksgiving break that happens right before December, and that's kind of the breaking point for teams. Either you finish poorly in the conference tournament, don't get put in the regional, and you're done at Thanksgiving. You go home, eat turkey, do things with your family, and no more volleyball, or you come back ready to play. And so that was our goal, to go home, eat a ton of food, come back and play more volleyball. So we're there, and we're excited about it.
This is your first season with the Lady Railsplitters, correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
What a way to come in. Your first season as the graduate assistant, and they make the NCAA tournament for the first time in a couple of years.
Well, I'm one of the factors that changed, so maybe it's no, not at all, not at all. It's been great. Walked in, a ton of talent. Coach Michael's incredible at what she does. So I get to walk in, I get to learn from her. I get to input some to the girls and learn a ton from them too. It's been a great experience to walk into for sure.
Tell us a little bit about your background. Where did you come from before this?
Yeah, I grew up in Alabama, through college, and then I went to teach and coach in Orlando, Florida, for a school right outside of Orlando, Florida. Taught Bible there and coached volleyball. And so I loved the teaching, loved the coaching, and decided I wanted to try coaching full time. Luckily, knew Jenny. She knows everybody. You know that.
Yeah.
Knew her, and she gave me an opportunity to try to coach at the collegiate level. So that's the goal, is to stay at the collegiate level and see what kind of impact I can have here.
So you're not necessarily the normal, what you would think of as a graduate assistant. You're not that person just graduated with a bachelor's and is now, okay, I'm trying to get a master's, so I'm going to do this graduate assistant at the same time. You actually have experience, and you're just trying to further your career.
It is. It's tough to get into the college game in any sport. It's kind of this fraternity, this tight-knit group. And so it's tough to work your way in. One of the ways is being a graduate assistant. And luckily, LMU has a great business program, so I'm getting my degree, getting introduced to the college atmosphere. So it's great all the way around, but it's definitely my step in.
Growing up in Alabama, moving to Orlando, now you're in what we like to call Little Harrogate, Tennessee.
Sure.
It's not the big city of Orlando, Florida. There is no Disney World here. We have the medical school and the vet school and buildings like that. What has it been like culturally for you, going from spot to spot and now landing in Harrogate right now? Because it's another stepping stone for you.
It is. And that's, it's difficult to be transient but enjoy where you are. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do, just settle my feet in here. This is closer to where I grew up in Alabama, in Huntsville. So I'm used to the country. I love the country. I love the people. Orlando's busy. It wore me out a little bit. So I do like moving north. This feels a little more like home, but really just trying to enjoy it while I'm here. It's a small area, but I like small. It's nice.
Being from Huntsville, I'm sure you're very familiar with Alabama Huntsville. Member of, I believe, the Gulf South at the moment.
That's right.
That's not necessarily the Southeast region, but it's close enough. I mean, LMU used to be in the Gulf South at one point. So you kind of understood the Division II level. You kind of understood what it took to be in the Southeast region when you came on board.
Absolutely. Understood the work that was necessary to put in. That was my first goal coming to this level was, luckily I don't have another job. I'm a full-time student still, but nothing during the day to keep my hours. So it was all about the work that had to be put in here. It's still surprising. You think you know, and then you show up and you realize how much work it really takes. Again, Coach Michael leads us with that. We understand the hard work from her, and so we understand what it takes, and I think the girls have done well this year, stepping up to that.
We've talked to some of the players in postgame before, and obviously we've talked to Jenny a few times. We kind of know what it's like just from talking to the players and broadcasting the games, our perspective of seeing her coach at the game level. We've seen a little bit of the practices. You're, as the graduate assistant, you see probably a lot more than we'll ever get to see. What's her practices like leading up to those games?
She has this fine line, and I really appreciate this about her, where it's always an intense practice. The girls come, they know they're here to show out, they're here to work really, really hard, but as the game gets closer, she does this thing where she removes the anxiety from them, where the moment is not bigger than it should be. So practices leading up, there's kind of more a relaxed style where you're going to compete, but let's not get in over our heads. I like to see that. The girls, when it comes game time, they're not in over their heads. They're not worried. They're not stressed out. They understand they've prepped harder throughout the week. So the game time is such a show they're ready to put on for it. So I appreciate that about her.
The chemistry of this team this season has been something we've not seen here at LMU in a long time. Not to mention the chemistry, but also the depth.
The depth is unbelievable. Coming in, Coach Michael said, that was the biggest difference we had this season. And I think you guys have seen it as well, where practices are competitive. People don't know that they have the spot. Every week there's a competition. Depth is pivotal for a good program, and that's shown for sure. The energy level, the camaraderie is great coming into this locker room and just getting to see the girls. They love each other. We love them. We emphasize the idea of being a family. Doesn't mean you always get along, but you're going to work hard and you're going to love each other. That's shown. Some of the freshmen have stepped in and really, really competed, and that's what's taken us to that next level. We both believe that.
You knock off Wingate this season, first time that had ever happened. We finished second in the regular season, first time that had ever happened. You go to the conference championship, and unfortunately you lose to Wingate in that, but Wingate's that powerhouse in the Southeast region. Now you've completed the goal. You're going to December. You're going to keep playing after the Thanksgiving break. There are teams in the Southeast region that's going to be playing that same weekend that you all have seen quite extensively, not only Wingate, not only Queens, but there's also Aiken and there's a couple other Peach Belt teams that you all have seen this year.
That's right. We try our best to have the girls focus on themselves all the time. It's all about this team. It's all about when we come to practice, when we're looking at film, what are we doing? Are we getting better? Because we think, we've shown that with us beating Wingate, us beating other teams in the conference that are at the competitive level, teams that we're going to face in the regionals. We know that we can do it. So what we try to do is try to keep our minds off of what's going on out there, only on ourselves. If we're playing our best ball, we know we'll compete. And that helps seeing them, knowing our matchups for sure.
That has to be something difficult at times to get into. 'Cause we got to remember, these are student athletes. They're college girls. So almost that they get them to realize is if with the way they've played this season, with the chemistry, the depth and everything, if they can just get out of their own way, they're going to advance far. But sometimes it just one bad hit here, an error here, and it just seems it's a mental thing.
It is. It is. We have so much faith in these girls right now. Talking about the dynamic of the Thanksgiving break, anytime your team is away from you, your mind's on them. What are they doing? Thanksgiving is tempting for us all, right? Eat a lot of food, stay on the couch a lot, watch a lot of football. They're on our minds, but we knew going into it with the girls we have, the leaders we have. We knew that they know the goal the goal is clear. They've put themselves in this tremendous opportunity. We believe that they are so locked in right now. We're the best team we've been all year, and that's the goal. We think that even the break helped us become a better team. They've come back ready to play. They're energized. Practices are at an all-time high right now. So yes, we trust them. It's an attribute to what they've done. They worked so hard. They're not going to let themselves down now.
One of the good things also about the break that I don't think you mentioned is it lets them rest, and especially because we've saw it a lot through the season, those players that get dinged up or injured, they've had a little time now to recoup for that. Now you've got Armstrong coming up in the first round. Talk about that opponent going forward.
Absolutely. We talk about the idea of no days off. Even if we're not in the gym, they need to rest actively. They need to be working towards the goal. Well, Armstrong poses a unique challenge to us. Very athletic, run a fast tempo offense. We have to be able to put the first ball away. Part of the matchup that we see is they like to keep plays going. They're excellent, they're scrappy, they're defensive, it's a great job, but the more the play goes, the more that they have success. So our idea is that we have to be healthy at the very beginning, we have to come out aggressive. As you've seen, as our fans have seen, when we're not aggressive, it's when we tend to let the game happen to us, and we don't want that to happen. So we think we're going to come out aggressive against Armstrong, and that's where our success is going to be.
We've always talked about it in the broadcast, myself and Mike, start quick, minimize errors. And that sounds a lot like what's going on in the locker room. It's the same kind of mindset going forward.
Absolutely.
Start quick, minimize errors. Now, we got less than a minute to go here in this interview. You're going to USC Aiken. It's going to be an event. These girls have never been there before. It's going to be an achievement for them, not only just to get there, but now they've got to keep their minds on the prize. What do you think is one key going forward, first off with Armstrong?
Remember what got you here. Their hard work put them in this situation. Rely on that. It's not any bigger than it's ever been. It's not a different game. Just be yourself. Get out there and do what we know we can do. I think that's the key, is our comfortability. We have a lot of senior leaders. Be comfortable in what we do. It's not any bigger than any other game has been.
I like it. I like the mindset. Well, congratulations on the season so far.
Thank you.
Good luck going forward. We hope that you all bring back that Southeast Regional Championship. It'd be completely awesome. Again, first matchup is Saturday. Is that correct?
It is Saturday at 5 o'clock.
Saturday, 5 o'clock. You can keep up with it at LMURailsplitters.com. Josh, once again, thank you.
Thank you guys for having me.
We'll be right back here with more Railsplitter Athletic Support right after this.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
From sales to service, online or in person, Anchor Marine of Speedville, Tennessee is the source for all your boating needs. We carry a wide selection of new and used products and services for Alumacraft, Aqua Patio, Hurricane, Polarcraft, Sampan, and Sweetwater boats and pontoons, as well as a full line of Yamaha marine engines and Minn Kota trolling motors. From bow to stern, Anchor Marine also carries a wide selection of boating accessories. And if it's service you need, we offer on-site factory-trained technicians that are among the best in East Tennessee. Anchor Marine, 6630 General C.W. Steiner Highway, Speedwell. At Farm Bureau, we offer more than just insurance. We offer security. Whether you're insuring your automobile, boat, home, or simply buying life insurance, with Farm Bureau, you can rest assured that we have your best interests covered. Our members can also enjoy travel discounts, entertainment discounts, identity theft restoration, and home protection services. Call today at 423-869-8346 or stop by and see Brad Seal at our Harrogate location and find out why Tennessee turns to us for insurance. Experience exceptional service and experience security at Farm Bureau. Commercial, residential, or personal, Lester Signs of Harrogate has you covered with all your sign and graphic needs. From embroidery and screen printing to personalized items, decals, yard signs, logo design, car wraps, digital printing, and sign maintenance, Lester Signs has all your branding needs. Lester Signs is under new ownership and has been serving the tri-state area for more than 25 years. Phone us today to inquire about your commercial sign or marketing specialized needs, or email us at sales@lestersigns.com. Lester Signs, located at 112 Washington Avenue, Harrogate.
Welcome back into the Railsplitter Athletic Support Journal alongside by the guy that needs no introduction here on campus, Josh Schertz, men's basketball coach. And Coach, we last talked to you, it was in the preseason. You went through a very tough first part of the schedule, come away with a few losses, which in basketball you can get away with, but your team's still sitting inside of the top 25 and you're 1-1 inside of conference.
Yeah, you know, we at this time of year, a lot of your record is based on, you know, who you played and where you played them. As you said, you know, we played a difficult schedule. We played some really good teams until last night. We played every game away from home, so you know, we lost a few. We have a younger team. We got a team that even with some new pieces, guys like Chris Perry, Trayvon Shaw, they're not younger, junior and senior, but they're new to us. And then we got a bunch of freshmen. So we knew it would be transitional. We knew playing a hard schedule would be challenged. We get some truth, and then it was hopefully that truth would help us win or lose, kind of grow quicker, expedite the process, and get ready for, you know, conference play.
You kind of mentioned it. This past Wednesday, you hosted Lenore Rhino. It was the first time you'd been inside of Tex Turner Arena, and it's maybe the longest stretch to start off a season you've had since you've been coach here, to be away before your home opener. Now that had to be difficult on your team.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the way the schedule fell. You know, I mean, we had 6 games, and you know, the conference challenge is something that was instituted a couple of years ago, and that rotates every year. So you only play that home once every 4 years. We were fortunate enough to be invited to that tournament in Evansville, the Small College Basketball Hall of Fame, which was a great opportunity. We couldn't pass that up, but again, away from home. And then conference just fell that we played Carson Newman, and it was our rotation year with Wise to go to Wise. So, you know, we played 6 straight games, either neutral or away. It was nice to be back in the friendly confines of Tex Turner Arena, and obviously, you know, now as we kind of got through that stretch, the majority of our games the rest of the way will be, you know, here in the arena, and you know, at least more than half. So, you know, we hopefully can get some comforts here at home, and in the middle of a 6 out of 7 here at home stretch. So, hopefully we can take advantage.
After the season you all had last year, the conference and the nation really put a lot of pressure on you and your team. I feel like you've stepped up to that challenge so far, going through the conference schedule like you did last year, not losing a game of the historical run. So you go to Carson Newman and you drop that game, and a lot of people are going to say, well, that's a disappointment for your team. But you played a decent Carson Newman team that went to overtime, and you still only lost by 2 or 3 points.
Yeah, you know, we at the end of the day, you know, you never want to lose. You know, Carson Newman's got a nice team. Thought they played extremely well. I think, you know, we're still figuring things out. You know, we're not a fully formed, you know, or fully developed group right now. Again, you know, we've got, you know, anytime you lose, we bring back 3 players that played minutes on last year's team, and you know, lost 5 our top 8 scorers, our 2 leading scorers. It's a lot of change, not only in personnel, but in the human component, in terms of chemistry, camaraderie, a lot of new pieces coming in, and so we're trying to figure things out. Like I said, you combine that with playing such a difficult schedule and playing all the way from home. So the Newman game, you know, I didn't think we played badly. I thought we didn't play tough, and I thought Newman out-toughed us. We played as hard as we could play. Effort was good. Execution offensively was good. You would hope 109 points would be enough to win the game, but it wasn't, because we didn't defend well enough. We didn't rebound well enough. Carson Newman won the game, deserved to win the game. But hopefully it was a lesson learned for our guys relative to, you know, the defensive side of the ball, the rebounding side of the ball, which the last 2 games has been better.
Put that one away, move on. As you mentioned, you had a 2-game losing streak going into the Wise game. You blow them out on their home floor, then you come back and what on paper was set up as a rematch of the Southeast Regional Final against Lenore Rhino on Wednesday. Different circumstance, it's a different team, different coach, but you all took care of business against LRI and really blew them out of the water. Yeah,
I think the last 2 games, you know, have been probably as close as we've come to putting 40 minutes together on both sides of the ball, right? you know, we played pretty well, played pretty aggressive. I thought we did a nice job in terms of our activity level. We certainly defended and rebounded better, and obviously, you know, took some steps forward. I think what happened against Huntsville, getting blown out there, and offensively being very selfish and defensively being very porous. We were much better offensively against Carson Newman. We were still porous defensively on the backboards. I think sometimes it's unfortunate, but sometimes you got to learn lessons through losses, through experience, and so we did that. Now I think last 2 games we've defended and rebounded better and continued to be efficient offensively.
We're going to stay in the South Atlantic Conference in competition, which I think you're not a big fan of to begin with. But we played in November. We're here in December. You get Lenore Run. You got that win behind you. You got to turn around. You got Coker, another unknown, brand new coach coming in, and then you got rotate around 48 hours later. You got Brevard coming in on Monday, and we know what they're going to be like. Yeah,
I mean, you know, Coker comes in 4-2, 1-0 in the conference, has a nice win over Catawba, who's, you know, picked I think 4th in the league, and they beat Catawba by 8 or something, 10, and again, you know, 4 wins, 3-game winning streak. Different team under Coach Salmon than they were under Coach Schmatzer, which was really more of a slow-paced, grind-it deal. Eric's team is really up and down the floor, pressing and running, and tempo is Newberry-esque, you know, in terms of how they play. And then you turn right around, and yeah, 48 hours later, you got Brevard, who's Princeton offense, matchup zone, a totally different type of test. And the way Division II works, the way our league works, because we play so many league games, is, you know, the reality is we have 1 non-conference game left all season. You know, every game from here on out is going to be inside the league, except for Bellarmine, and so every game has that value in terms of, you know, you hate to play them this early, but, you know, we got to play whatever the schedule dictates. But I would say you can, you know, you can't win the league in November, December, but in our league, but you can lose it in November, December. You get out to a, you know, 2-4 start, 1-5. All of a sudden, you know, you're behind the 8 ball. You're 4 or 5 games back going into Christmas, and that's a deficit you probably can't make up. So, you know, hopefully we can come out, play well, put some wins together, put a run together. We got obviously 4 games left here in the first semester. Once we get through Brevard, we got a week between that, you know, really we did a day off in a week between that and the next game, so we can rest, decompress a little bit, practice, which would be nice, and then get ready for a big stretch run there with Wingate and Newberry.
You talked about it's a different chemistry, a different team this season, and you talk about the hard stretch. I mean, you had all the neutral sites, the non-conference, and now you've got conference, bang, 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 essentially within like a week to 10 days. That's going to really test your team and really get them prepared for that January, February, March run.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole deal is, you know, you want to do things early in the season. I thought the good part about playing, you know, King, who's picked to win their league, Kentucky West picked to win their league, Huntsville picked to win their league early, is that it would prepare us to go to Carson Newman. And we didn't play great at, you know, Carson Newman are well enough to win, certainly. But I think, you know, we got a lot of growth in these early part of the season. And you're right, now, you know, you got to find a way to win some games because you're inside of your conference, you know, and certainly the goal is to compete as best you can at the top of the league and try to win the conference. And to do that, you know, you got to win games. And this early in the season, I don't think any team is all that they can be right now. But, you know, while you're growing, you got to find a way to win. And what we always talk about is trying to hit our head on our ceiling as it is at that moment. So every game we want to play to whatever our capabilities are at the moment. Then the secondary goal, which is always the big, is to move that ceiling up. So by the end of the season, when it matters most, as we get to March, we're the best team we can possibly be. And then we see how that stacks up.
Let's talk about some of the accomplishments that you've had since here. Last against Lenore Rod on Wednesday night, you all handed out runner-up rings to the members that were still left. I don't know if you could hear it in the background. They're testing audio here. They're measuring for the brand new scoreboard that's coming in. Your team's already been spotlighted on ESPN. There's a couple other national games. The Knoxville local media picked you up. This is stuff that your team is bringing to the forefront, not only for your program, but also for Lincoln Memorial University.
Yeah, no, I think it's been great. You know, obviously the success of the program and the institution kind of goes hand in hand. Like everything, you know, it's you know, obviously the school's grown exponentially in the 9 years I've been here, and so is the commitment to the program, and they're committed because, you know, if you're good in men's basketball, you know, there's opportunity from a marketing standpoint, from a notoriety standpoint, and we want to kind of work hand in hand to push the LMU brand forward. My focus, obviously, on the basketball side. The institution's focus on the institution as a whole, and you know, it's been great though, and obviously the scoreboard, the players' lounge, locker room renovations, all these things have been things that the school's really been bought into, committed to try to continue to push the envelope and make it better. And that's the great thing about this place, is not that, hey, we made the national championship game last year, okay, we're great, it's all right, we did that, what can we do to evolve, move forward, stay ahead of the curve? I think, we obviously are probably a couple years out, but practice facility is going to be built. We're going to have a 3-court practice facility. All that stuff's coming down the pipe, so we continue to move forward.
I think it's also rubbing off on these other programs. They're trying to catch you here at LMU. We saw women's basketball there nationally right now. Women's volleyball's in the NCAA tournament. So I think it's starting to work its way around. They're trying to catch you.
Well, listen,
they're
that's
trying
good.
To catch you.
That's great. Listen, I hope we want everybody to be good. It's great for everybody when everybody's good. And looking forward to wish women volleyball best of luck, and obviously women's basketball 7-0. Unbelievable. Hope people get out and watch them.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time, and we'll see you Saturday, as a matter of fact, when you all have Coker here at home.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Adam.
All right, head coach Josh Schertz. We'll be right back with more Railsplitter Athletic Support right after this.
It's the Old Town Grill. The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special. It's the OTG. The OTG is the place to be.
It makes a difference when a physician is trained to truly listen. At the LMU Medical Clinic, it is our mission to provide the highest quality medical care possible for our community, in our community. Our physicians are trained in the philosophy of osteopathic medicine. We look beyond your symptoms and take the time to get to know you as a whole person, from children to adults and everyone in between. We don't see patients, we see people.
Whether institutional case good or architectural woodwork, Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 Forsyth Street Northeast, Knoxville.
Welcome back into the Railsplitter Athletic Support. As we finish off tonight's show, once again, want to thank our guests this evening. Let's talk about some stuff that's coming up this week in Railsplitter Athletics. As we already talked about women's volleyball, they're at the NCAA Southeast Regional Tournament. Now, when we talked to Josh, we had mentioned at the end of the interview, the first match was actually on Saturday. That was actually false. The first match is on Friday. Both of us were actually wrong. It'd be easier for him to be wrong. He's actually going to be there. But the first match is on Friday against Armstrong. It's a 5 p.m. first serve. And again, you can keep up with that at LMURailsplitters.com. If they beat Armstrong, they'll advance to Saturday. It'll be an 8 o'clock start for that semifinal matchup against the winner of USC Aiken and Barton. Good luck to Coach Michael and the Lady Railsplitter volleyball team. Basketball, they're at home very quickly. They're at home this Saturday, taking on Coker College. It's a 2 and a 4 o'clock start here in the Texas Turner Arena. LMU Sports Network will have coverage starting at 1:40 across the multiple platforms of video and radio, that being 91.3 FM WLMU. And then very quickly after that, finals week, they've got a ball game on Monday. A mere 48 hours later, they're hosting Brevard back inside of the Texas Turner Arena. That'll be a 6 and an 8 o'clock start. Once again, LMU Sports Network will have coverage of that one starting at 5:40 on Monday evening. And we don't want to forget it, men's track, they are starting off the season. They're at the University of Indianapolis season opener up in Indianapolis, Indiana. That's a Saturday meet for the men's track and field squad. Again, LMU Railsplitters will have all the results from all the different athletic teams going on. But again, that's our show. We're going to see you again next week. For everyone behind the scenes, I'm Adam Haley, and you've been watching the Railsplitter Athletics Report.